Hey, this is Aidan with Traveling Husbandz, and on today's podcast, we are talking about babies and Drew's wife being pregnant and life as a husband with a pregnant wife.
If she a baby mama,
Go ahead.
she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby mama. Drop,
Drop
drop,
it down,
drop,
drop it down, down low.
drop, drop,
Drop it down, drop it down, down low.
drop, drop,
Drop it down, drop it down, down low.
Drop,
Do
drop.
the baby mama when I step out on the floor.
Hey, this is Aidan. Welcome back to this week's podcast. This is going to be a bonus podcast. We just had the gender reveal over the weekend, so I just thought that maybe we should just do a little podcast here to talk about the pregnancy and then just the baby in general. Drew?
Aidan, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
How was work today?
It was great. I liked it.
Or overall, how's your week going, I should say?
It's going good. I'm looking forward to the weekend so we can get this nursery started. So
You had to remind me. Which is a great segue. Do you want to hear about my day?
yes.
Thank you.
How was your day?
It was good. You know that I travel all over the place for work, and but here's the thing. Football is ended
Yes.
last week.
Thank God.
And yeah, well, I can't
Well-
say thank God, but because I do enjoy it. But it's kind of weird now. I'm in this weird place where I'm just walking around my house looking for things to do. I'm bored. I usually go right into coaching basketball, but my wife did not want me to do that this year. What rightfully so, wanted me to be at home getting ready for this baby. But I do walk around extremely bored, and it's interesting.
Yeah. And
So-
then we also have Miranda here with us. So
Oh,
thanks for
she's here.
joining us.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, Aidan, let's talk about this. Why don't you let our folks know why Miranda is sitting with us in the podcast studio?
Yeah. So we're just gonna kind of go over a couple questions I've gathered here to ask you guys because I'm curious too, and then maybe just go over a couple of advice we can give out to future dads out there and just moms expecting as well. So first question I have here is, when did you find out you were pregnant?
Yeah, Miranda.
When? Like, you want the date?
Date?
I have the date.
Yeah.
It was on July 8th.
Was it really?
It was.
July 8th.
July
I
8th.
feel like you didn't tell us July 8th.
No.
The picture has a timestamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was that day.
Okay.
I guess I just wasn't feeling good. Like,
Yeah.
I've never felt...
We just got over a
This-
July 4th party, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had some cocktails, so...
Well, you've had a couple cocktails before.
Before, yeah. But
I think the whole month of May and June you were drinking.
Yeah. It's okay, though. So after the 4th of July, I wasn't really feeling well. It was a feeling I've never felt before. I was really tired. I was a little nauseous here and there, and I'm like, something's a little late. So, came home. My husband, was in the shower, took a pregnancy test. I saw 2 lines instantly, and I was like, okay, this is happening. I whipped back the shower curtain and said, look at this. And he's like, what am I looking at? I said, there's 2 lines. And he doesn't know what 2 lines means. And
Of
I
course he
said,
wouldn't.
I've never
Is
seen...
that a good thing, though? I mean, I feel like it's a good thing that I wouldn't know what that is.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been trying for a while, so
That's true.
you should kind of know, but
That's
it's
true.
okay. So, 2 lines, right? He's never seen 2 lines before. That's what I said. I said, so that means we're pregnant. First thing we did was took another one.
And then another one, and then another
I
one,
think
and then
we took
another
like
one.
5. Yeah,
I feel like I vaguely remember you making her take pregnancy tests like every...
a couple days.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you still pregnant? Yeah.
well, and I'm not going to get in the nitty gritty of this whole thing, and not get too personal, but it was not. We were shocked. I
yeah,
mean,
it wasn't planned. It was
not planned at all. I mean, we were. I'm again not getting
I
the
mean, when you
details.
start trying and it doesn't happen, it gets depressing. So we just stopped.
Yeah.
And they say,
Well, we
that-
stopped for like 3 years.
No, we started 3 years ago.
Oh, well, you know what I mean.
we
Close
stopped.
enough.
We stopped a while ago just because it's hard.
And then, what were your first initial emotions when you heard we're pregnant, Drew?
I feel like I'm on an episode of Dr. Phil, but my first reaction was, well, again, not to get in all the details of it, but we certainly at that point just kind of we didn't think we were going to get pregnant, essentially, and then to hear I'm pregnant, it was a shock. So that's why he followed it up with 5 more pregnancy tests, and then a pregnancy test every single day from there on until we saw the doctor. And I'll tell you, we are 5 months,
Almost 5.
almost 5 months into this whole thing, and I'm still in shock of it. I mean, it still hasn't hit me.
It still doesn't feel real, even
Just-
though it's real.
Just because our situation's special, but
Yeah. And, I mean, it's my baby, too, sort of. Because every morning I'm like, Julianne's my wife, I'm like, Jules, Miranda's having a baby. And then now that we know the gender, I'm like, Miranda's having a girl. So it's still very shocking, I think, to everybody.
yeah.
And super exciting. You said you were 5 months?
Almost.
Oh, it's almost time.
It is. This is the time where we got to start signing up for our baby classes, and
You guys are going to attend a dad boot camp.
dad boot camp, the traveling husbands. That is a huge.
Watch out for that video.
That is gonna be a vlog. We are definitely going to be attending dad boot camp at the hospital. I don't know if it's a new program they have up there, but we're looking forward to that. That'll definitely be a vlog. I think this is going to sound kind of bad, but I think we're doing it mainly for the vlog.
Yeah, I mean, the vlog would be great, but I think also just to prepare for this baby that's coming.
Yeah.
I think you need some help.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, we need help. Everybody.
Because there is going to be a moment where, and maybe we'll get into this a little bit when we talk about advice, but I do think it is important that Miranda gets her me time, and that means that you and I will be alone, well, mainly me, but I'm going to call you over, and we'll be alone with this baby, and we have got to know what we're doing.
Yes, I agree. And then, just over the weekend, finding out the gender, that was very exciting stuff. And then, how did it feel like knowing that your sister knew the gender this whole time and she wouldn't say anything?
It was hard. It was so hard not knowing what the baby was. I would try to get it out of her, but deep down I didn't want to know. I really wanted to be surprised. I don't know about Drew, but he tormented her day in and day out to find out.
I did too.
What's the baby? Tell me.
Yeah.
No, it was hard, but I loved being surprised. I thought that was a special moment to have captured, and seeing everyone's face, because nobody else knew, but her and Drew's sister. So it was just really fun to see everyone's reaction when we finally got to find out what it is.
And I'll tell you, there's no wise tale that is true. I mean, we went back and forth.
I don't know. We did the ring one, and it went in a circle. We did that twice.
What does that mean? Circle means?
Circle means it's a girl. If it
Okay.
goes side to side, it's a boy. What else?
Just the questionnaires, the questions, right?
Yeah. I'd say, they say girls steal your beauty, and I kind of felt that way. I don't feel like I have that glow, where the glow comes and goes, but...
I think you have a glow. I think you have a glow all the time.
Yes, Aidan, I do too.
Of course you did that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it is definitely so interesting, especially for me, because in my professional life, I'm definitely an investigator by trait. So I was trying to figure out every little detail. At one point, I think I might have sat down and lightly interrogated my sister-in-law to try to get the information, and I give her props. She kept it.
She was a tough cookie. She didn't crack.
Yeah, I didn't get any signs from her. We even had a couple of ultrasound visits at the hospital and stuff where she wasn't there, and I'm even proud of ourselves a little bit. We had an opportunity there where we could have said, "Oh, tell us the gender," and we didn't.
No,
So
we said it right away. Don't tell us. We don't want to know.
But to get back to your original question, it was definitely well worth it, and a complete surprise.
Yeah, let the shopping begin.
Yeah. I feel like the shopping already began a little bit. But that's a different story, right? What are you guys most excited about when this baby comes?
I can't wait to see what she looks like, or who she looks like more of, or, does she have dimples? Does she have the famous butt chin? I don't know.
Could she be half Hispanic? I really don't know.
Will she? What do you mean by famous butt chin?
Well, the butt chin is very strong on your side of the family, and I think she'd be cute no matter which way, but, what color hair is she going to have?
Strawberry blonde. We don't know.
Is she going to have freckles? I mean, I'm just curious.
I'm just, and Miranda, you can tell me if you agree or disagree with this, but I'm just so proud to be at this point where you would ask me this question 8 months ago, and I would have told you it wasn't looking good for us. And to be here in this moment, to have a baby on the way is super exciting. So I'm just most excited for her to get here. And then
She can take her time. I'm not ready for her to physically be here. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet her, but she can stay in for a little while.
yeah, and I think looking in the future sense as being a traveling husband, I can't wait for a traveling husband vlog with her.
To take her to the parks
Yeah, exactly.
and just see
Airplane
her.
and the whole 9 yards.
You know, something that was really cute that Drew said after everyone left on Saturday, we were getting into bed. He said, I can't wait to see her face the first time she sees Minnie. And I just thought, oh, Presh. That's going to be such a special moment. And, I mean, that's like a couple years down the road because she's not going to know who Minnie is right away. But, no, I'm excited to take her along, travel with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to have Aidan be there every step of the way.
Recording and getting yelled at for not getting the right shots, right?
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't yell at me. He just hits me. When is she due?
She is due on February 29th, so it's a leap year baby.
Wow. Hopefully.
Well, if the way we think, or at least we've been talking, is that we think she'll be here probably in March.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a little late. I mean, if she comes on her due date, that's great. It's kind of special. But then it's like, when do you celebrate her birthday?
Yeah, and Miranda, did we talk about her due date yet?
We just did just now.
Oh, okay.
I just said it.
Maybe
Yeah.
I missed that part. But
I don't think we've mentioned the name though. Do you guys have a name picked down?
Yeah.
what is the
Do you
name?
guys want to
It's,
share?
yeah, it's Kaylin Joanne. And that is a combination of my middle name and my mother-in-law's middle name. And then Joanne is a really special name for us because that is Drew's grandma's name, and she had passed in 2016. So it's a name that has strong meaning with strong women. And
Yeah, I think it's special because when my grandmother passed away, the last thing that she told Miranda and I is that she wanted us to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, she wanted us to have a baby.
yeah,
so
she said you better have a baby.
yeah.
This
So
is for you, Grams.
there you go.
It is.
But yeah, super excited. What are you most excited about, Aidan?
Me? A lot. Just getting to hold the baby. I think I love babies. Meeting her for sure. Teaching her Spanish.
She's going to be yelling at us in Spanish.
Half Hispanic, anything at this point could be possible. And just getting to see her grow up, I think. Just experiencing everything and just taking her everywhere and having fun. Seeing what life is outside of just
The
Husband
womb.
and wife.
husband and wife, yeah.
And the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else, Aidan, you want to know about this baby?
Yeah, of course. How did you guys end up telling people your pregnancy? Like, how did you guys announce it to other people?
Go ahead, Miranda.
Well, like the first couple we told was the Moras.
We told the traveling husband.
That's me and my wife.
We basically just said, get over here now.
And you're not supposed to tell people right away, but
right,
we did not follow that rule
Well, I mean,
because it was such a shock.
Yeah, but we also had a trip planned for Disney in 2020, and there was just going to be no way we would take a newborn baby.
Literal newborn.
Yeah, to Disney, and so we were sad to tell them that we can't go, but surprise, we're pregnant. And actually our dog, Sully, is the one who told them.
Yeah, Sullivan.
So
It was cute. We walked in. Well, you called me and you said, "Hey, come over." And I thought you guys.
I mean, you were
I
at
thought
home.
I thought there was something wrong. Someone we.
Did you think we were going to divorce?
I don't want to say that on the podcast, but I didn't think it was good news. I was also hungry, and so I was like, "You guys better have food for me." So I mean, like, we came over, and then I was still hungry, so I was like, "Oh
had
God!"
pizza.
Right? We had pizza, yes, and then you guys were all being weird and stuff, and you guys had to sit down, and Sully, or the dog, came over, and he was like, "Hey, look at my collar," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So then we looked at it, and then announcement, pregnant, and I was in shock for sure. And then Julian was like, "Oh, I knew," but we didn't know, and I didn't know what to expect, and it was very nice and very sweet, and super happy for you guys because we're friends and we kind of knew the whole backstory of everything, so excited for you guys and everything.
Yeah, and then from there we Who else did we? I mean,
the next people was my dad and stepmom.
Yep.
And we kind of told the grandparents all in their own individual way. We recorded most of them. We did forget one on accident, but
And I definitely would say, for advice for husbands and whoever's listening to this, record those moments because you'll cherish them forever.
Yeah, telling my dad and stepmom was really fun because we literally were joking about maybe this wasn't going to happen. And then just to hear her say, literally, she was, shut the front door. She was so excited and tears are flowing. And
One quick side note, I also told the neighbors in between.
before his parents even knew. I was like, how are you not going to tell your parents?
Okay,
You told the neighbors.
I have to tell the story. I was literally driving home and I was beyond excited. And I got out of my car, and I was just in my head the whole way home thinking about this whole thing. This is like maybe this is like a day after we found out, and my neighbors just happened to wave to me, and they talked to me about our 4th of July party that we had a couple days prior, and I was like, yeah, that was a great party, and by the way, my wife's pregnant. So, but yeah, I had to tell the neighbors, and I didn't film them.
I mean, it's exciting news. You feel like you need to tell the whole world, just stand on top of a mountain and just kind of yell like, hey, we're pregnant, kind of a thing. So,
and then after going through this whole process, because this has not been the pregnancy overall, like symptoms I think for you have been easy, but the process is like going to the doctor and finding out certain things. I would advise you definitely to not go and tell your neighbors right away and wait until you talk to a doctor and get everything looked at. So
how was the family? Were they like super supportive about it? They were like, oh
no, they wanted me to leave Miranda alone, and no, they were super supportive.
Yeah, everyone was super excited, and some of them were like, I knew it, and I'm like, how?
How? I've been drinking this whole past 2 months.
Like, what? No. But no, it was really fun telling everyone in their own special way, and we were trying to wait for our first doctor's appointment, but just the excitement, we couldn't keep it in.
Yeah, especially their first one. But I can't say enough about film those moments and plan them out. And, I mean, I still watch them to this day just because it's so exciting to know that, like, they get to be grandparents. I mean, my parents were already grandparents, but to hear it from us, and everybody knew our situation, and were so in shock and supportive, and the emotions were definitely flowing. So
Yeah, no, and it still doesn't feel real.
yeah, and the emotions are still flowing.
Yeah.
So I think Brandon and I, every night we tell each other how in shock we are and how thankful we are for the support. And yeah, so what's your next question?
My next question, how can husbands be supportive when it comes to the pregnancy?
How can husbands be supportive when it comes to the pregnancy? Have patience. No. I would say just understand that your wife is going through something, and both just everything chemically, and I mean, she's got so much going on within her body. She's growing another human, and you need to be understanding of that, and then do things that, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't normally do, but just help in any way you possibly can, and continue to show that support. And you need to attend the doctor's appointments. Miranda tries to tell me not to attend these doctor's appointments, and for us in our situation and everything, like, I'm going to every doctor's appointment. I don't care if I got to sit in the waiting room.
Yeah, but it's not like
I think even our doctor tries to talk us out of it.
You don't see the baby every time, though, so it's like sometimes I'm like, they're just seeing how much weight I've gained or like stuff like that, and I just feel like...
But I think the support, just being there, even just like showing up.
Yeah, no, I do love that he wants to be a part of it, and it is fun because we do get to hear the heartbeat each time we go in.
Yeah, and I think, especially with recently, last few weeks, again, not to go into too much detail, but we had kind of a scary situation, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
And it was, in those moments, pregnancy is never easy, and you need to be willing to step up and be there and be supportive and be a man about it.
Yeah.
And I can't understand for the life of me how certain men in this world get somebody pregnant and then aren't involved. That's so sad, and I don't know. I'll never understand it.
I mean, I would agree. I don't fully understand why, some people have kids and then just kind of walk out. I come from a home where my dad wasn't fully in my life, but when the time I did have him in there, he was all supportive and stuff, but seeing you and how supportive you are towards Miranda, and then just being there before the baby's even here is like amazing, and I don't understand 100% how or why anybody would walk out of a kid's life, but I mean it happens and stuff. But so Miranda, with the traveling husbands here, what are kind of some advice that you would give to future husbands or just future dads on how they can be supportive towards the woman when it comes to the pregnancy?
I'd say just be really understanding. I mean, like Drew said earlier, there's a lot happening within a woman's body, and I may say things that I don't mean. I may be moody, and I don't mean to be. I think I've been pretty good.
You have been really good. I don't know what the norm is because this is my first kid, but you've been really good.
Yeah, and I just think, like, if there's something I need, Drew doesn't hesitate to, like, help me out, or if I'm super thirsty and I want ice cold water, he's gonna bring me some ice cold water. So I think it's just the little things. Any little thing that he can do to help me out so I don't have, a lot to do on my plate is great, and, the less stress, the better.
All right, and then Drew, is there any other kind of advice you can also give when it comes to being supportive or just being there, I guess, as a husband towards your wife?
Sure, I would say for the husband's aspect, traveling husbands, obviously, don't, like, it's okay to be vulnerable, I think, like, in the sense that, like, it's your first kid, dude. Like, you got a lot going on in your head, too, so don't be afraid to ask questions and try to be understanding, and then also, too, to, like, ask people who have kids the questions. Be careful that you don't fall into those people that want to give you their whole life story. And I told Aidan earlier, like, it's like a wedding almost. Everybody wants to tell you how to have your wedding and what kind of food you should have at the reception. Sometimes you can run into people, especially in this whole process, that definitely want to give you all the advice in the world, hear their life stories, and that's great. Be welcoming to that, but then understand that that's not going to be your journey, and not every baby is the same either. So when people say, "Oh, wait till you have 2 or whatever," or they say, "Oh, my kid was really colicky," like, it's not every baby is that way, and you just have to stay in your lane and do your thing. And if you listen to every single person telling you exactly how your baby is going to be, I have a feeling, and I don't have a baby yet, but everything I've heard is you might be a little bit surprised on day one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a baby, and I'm not going through the experience with my wife or anything, but sitting here with you guys, or just being the oldest in my family also, just watching everybody having kids, and just, like, listening to people give other people advice. Like, it's great, we appreciate it, it's welcome, but just kind of let me, or, you guys experience that for yourselves, and kind of go through the motions and everything and figure out what works best for you guys and what works best for the baby and what doesn't work best for you guys. So
yeah, and I think and don't get me wrong, Miranda and I are certainly open to people's stories. We love hearing it, but you got to be, and we all know who that person is. You see them out and about, and they're a cousin of your cousin, and they're just like randomly giving you their whole life story, and they're forcing advice down your throat when you really necessarily don't want it. So I would just caution you to be careful of those types of people, and just, like I said, stay in your lane and do your thing, and understand your baby is going to be its own person and its own personality, and you're going to learn things as you go, and not every kid's the same.
Dude, I think that's also one thing that I'm excited about. I know you asked me earlier, finding out what kind of personality this baby has. She has been stubborn, trying to figure out what the gender was, just kind of being seen in ultrasounds, and just waiting for her to be all sassy as sassy can be for you guys.
Yeah, but that's I can't wait for that. I'll just say you have to. That'd be my other piece of advice. Like, you just gotta listen to yourself and your gut instinct, and take that advice from people. And by the way, too, if you ever talk to somebody and they're forcing advice down your throat on what it's going to be like to be a dad, or even a mom in Miranda's case, take a real good, inventory of probably when they had their kid. If they had their kid in the early 80s and they're trying to tell you how an ultrasound is going to work or sound or be, it's more than likely that it is going to be very different today than it was then. and just choose those people out, and always welcome the feedback. Don't be rude, but have your own experience and stay in your lane. And then one other thing that I was just thinking of, a good piece of advice for folks is your life doesn't end when you have a kid. You just have, kids are expensive. That's a piece of advice I'd give people. Not that I again, my kid is not here yet, but I'm walking around these stores.
I mean, she's already expensive.
Yeah, she is already expensive. You should see the bill I had from this last weekend's trip. But anyway, but they're expensive. But understand, like, your life isn't over. Like, you have so much to go out there and experience and do and take your kid on vacations. And, we all here in this room want to experience Disney with this baby and do that whole thing. But just understand, like, if you budget and you're smart with your money and you look at what things are going to cost down the road, and I could go on forever about this stuff, but just know, like, those are the people that I really struggle with when you're asking me what people give me advice or me giving them advice. Like, those people, when you talk to them, they're like, yeah, your life's over with. I gotta be honest. I don't think it is.
No, her first trip is going to Disney.
Her first trip is Disney. We already have that plan. I think we're all going.
Going.
Aidan, when are we going?
We're going November 2020.
Yes.
And then she'll be about
9 months old.
9 months. So we're excited about that. She might not know
She's
a lot
not
of what's
remember.
going on, but it's just exciting taking a baby or just
Right.
just
They're
a kid.
free, so
Yeah.
why not?
They are
That baby
free.
is free up until they're 3 years old to take to Disney, and that's
Right.
on the airplane too. So why not take it as many times before it becomes an expensive trip?
Yeah, and I want to again just reiterate, like, Miranda and I are not the experts. We are first time parents. We'll live this experience as it comes, but just know that, like, your life isn't over. And you know what? If my life is over, well, it is over. But at least I gotta.
I mean, I think we're gonna make mistakes every now and
Right.
then, but those are learning curves. And
I don't know. I just every time
think-
I go to the doctor and I have and we have this appointment with our doctor, I've yet to hear her tell me your life is over and you'll never go on vacation again and you'll never be able to do anything. So I feel like that's.
I mean, I feel like maybe your life is over for your current standing, like, but now it's new
sure.
beginning
Right.
with new adventures and
the
new,
chapter of you and I is coming to an end, and
and
The
now you're
chapter of
adding
us?
a third to the story, and there's going to be new adventures, new life to experience, and it'll be different for
It's
sure.
life
but-
altering, as we said in the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
It is definitely life altering, and how can it not be? But
and it's all for the best.
right, and it's. But again, don't let anybody tell you that your kid's going to be a certain way and that your life's over, because it's not.
And maybe they just won't look at us all weird when we go to a kid movie.
No.
Now that we have an actual kid with us.
Yes. Yeah. No.
taking a newborn to a movie though, you
Well.
might still get some looks.
We'll try.
We'll deal with it when the time comes.
We'll see what happens when we. Maybe that's part of our dad boot camp. We'll go to our dad boot camp and they'll be
Let
like,
us know we can't take a baby to the movie.
"Can't take a baby to the movies." Well, I guess we're still gonna go see Toy Story on our own.
We will. But any last bits of advice from you, Miranda?
No, I think just cherish every moment. I mean, I remember all the dates of, finding out when we're pregnant, seeing the baby the first time.
And we're still in this journey. We're in the middle of it. We're not even at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe we'll have another podcast as well when the baby comes out. And
If not a podcast, at least a vlog.
well, for sure there'll be lots and lots of vlogs, but maybe just talk more about, like, what's it like after the baby comes
Yeah,
and what
or
it's
when
like.
we get further along, when we're, like, real pregnant
Yeah.
and you're getting ready, like, we can talk about go bags and how many
Right.
people are going to have go bags.
Aidan, tell our traveling husband fans about the go bags.
So I'm going to have a go bag at my job, at home, at work. My wife works closer to Miranda than any of us do, so she's also going to have a go bag in the car. There's going to be multiple go bags everywhere in the Madison area.
Yeah, and I want to be very clear. Miranda is not Aidan and I's surrogate. This is Miranda and I's baby.
I'm co-parenting.
Aidan is heavily involved, and we love it. So it takes a village to raise a kid. So why not?
What are the next steps for you and Miranda in getting the baby ready for life, I guess?
Well, I'll let Miranda take this one.
It's the nursery. It's picking out all the details. I have my paint swatches. But you know what's really hard?
What's hard?
Bedding. What crib sheet do I want? And is this one going to look okay? And is it going to go with our theme? And I picked out the theme. I'm ready to go, and
What's the theme?
it's cactuses and llamas.
Llamas.
People thought it would have been Disney, but I'm gonna let Kaylin make her own choices, and she's gonna have no choice but to love Disney. But I think if she wants a princess room, she can have that when she wants it. And right now, I want it to be cactuses and llamas.
Well, we're excited to get it together and start painting and building everything, and hopefully
Everything is still in boxes. So now that football is officially over and I have a ton more free time on my hands, and you're definitely going to start getting everything built and put together.
it's going to be exciting. Hopefully, we get everything all built correctly, and if
we will certainly have a vlog.
Yes, if you guys watched us build the grill together, you know how good of a builders we are. We got that
Need a woman's touch.
under I would say 6 hours. But yes, we do need a woman's touch. We can't say that we do everything without, the help of our ladies here with us. So
Yeah, and I think we're at 30 minutes, so we will wrap this one up. But yeah, here's your post gender reveal vlog up, and just cannot thank everybody enough for all the support. I think even from, I know Miranda and I both at our jobs. Miranda and I work full-time, obviously, and the support we've gotten from our employers to friends and family and distant cousins, it's been unbelievable. So just can't thank everybody enough for the support. We hope you enjoyed our gender reveal vlog. And Aidan, let's talk about the future of podcasts. What do we got coming up next?
So coming up next, we're going to do a podcast about just Disney and Universal and, kind of what it's like to be on and off property. And
yeah, I think doing one with staying on property and you staying off of property.
Yes.
So that's coming up for our Journey series, looking at Universal and Disney and staying on property and off of property when you're visiting down there. But we just want to do this podcast just to give everybody, just really to say thank you to everybody for all their support. And this has just been a crazy adventure for Miranda and I, and to give some advice for some husbands out there that maybe have a baby on the way, or we'll find out shortly if they do, and we'll continue to update you. But yeah, coming up next for the Journey series, talking about Universal and Disney.
This has been very, very fun. Thank you, Miranda, for joining us.
And, thank you.
And being
she's so good that she's
such a good sport.
She's pregnant, and I asked her if she'd come on our podcast because Aidan and I wanted to give an update post the vlog because we got a lot of awesome feedback from that, and she was willing to come on and talk.
Yes, and she didn't yell at us that much, and and we're glad and we're thankful. So I think we should wrap it up now since we're reaching 32 minutes here. So
all right, guys. Well, for Drew,
this is Aidan,
and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.